All right. In honor of the great Matthew McConaughey, can you tell me the first time he said that? What movie was it? Those who've been with me know the answer. Those who are just watching today on the weekly review might have to Google it. Anyway, this is a weekly review. Thank you for watching. You're looking at a daily chart of the Nasdaq, and you can see I've drawn a trend line here. And the Nasdaq, is hitting it's bumping against the top of the trend line. Doesn't mean anything. It could certainly trade above it, but the last time, it pulled back a little bit once it got a little bit extended there. So we'll see what happens this time. I believe there's a lot of short sellers in this market who bit on the negative news and the recession fears and all that, and they're a little bit, as Tom Lee would say, offside. So we'll see what happens next week, but for now, the Nasdaq is in an uptrend. You don't have to call it a bull market, a bear market. The index is going higher and stocks are going higher. So we're in an uptrend. How about that? We had a follow through day on January 6th of 2023, where there it is, where the character changed a little bit because it was going down and down and down since November of 21, and it was just people were getting really bearish and getting tired of it, getting sick of stocks actually. But then it had this 16% rally to February 2nd, pulled back to March 13th there, about 5-6 week pullback, which retraced 50% of this move. And then since March 13th to June 16th, it had this nice run here and then pulled back into the channel. Like I said, I thought it was going to pull back a lot more, but like I said, I think there's a lot of short sellers in here covering here and pushing this thing higher. So anyway, let's take a look at this thing on the weekly. It is a weekly review. It took out this high here, and that's when we got bullish, even more bullish, 13,181. And now I think it's got its sights set on 14,646, and we'll just see. We'll just see. I'll just wait there. It had a big week last week, up 3.32% with above average volume. So the Nasdaq is strong, definitely the strongest index here. Okay, let's move on. I don't trade indexes, I trade stocks. And the first stock I want to go look at today is the SMCI Super Micro. This has been our number one stock for quite some time, and it's well, it's a weekly review. Let's look at the weekly chart. So this is high tight flag pattern, pretty rare, one of the better ones that I've seen in a while. There's the pole, then it had this flag here. Now it broke out above this flag pattern, and there's no telling how high this thing can go. I thought I was going to have a little trouble with that 300 level, and on Friday it did, but we're going to see next week how it handles that. It could do one of three things. It can get rejected, head south, or it could just trade sideways here around 300, or it could just blast off and start looking at 350, 400. We'll see. But like I said, this stock is not an expensive stock. It's trading at about 2 times sales, 15.5 billion market cap, maybe 2.5 times sales now, but still, it's got a PE. I know we don't value growth stocks with PE, but it's a 27 for now. So, $10 of earnings, $2.95 price, it's just not that expensive. Anyway, some of the other stocks that I want to look at here is Meta. This one, a little bit like the Nasdaq, where it's trading up against this, trend line. Doesn't mean anything. Yeah, pulled back Friday, big deal. But this thing's surfing its moving average since this breakout here, gap higher, and then it got into a little consolidation area, flat base pattern, and it's just been surfing its moving averages like Kelly Slater. This is definitely looking really good. Meta Platforms, if we look at the weekly, we can see that huge sell-off when everybody hated it, down below 100, and then now everybody loves it at 300. So that's just the psychology of the market. With Meta Platforms, Apple's another one we have to look at, just because seems like the large liquid stocks are in favor for sure being bought. This one's less than 2% off of its 52-week high. Definitely a strong stock. Just pulled back. It went up to 194, over 3 trillion market cap. Pulled back. It looks a little bit, just got support at the 21. Doing nothing wrong. Microsoft had the news with the Activision and Looks like this one wants to, this is a nice little base here, the run up and then a little pullback almost to the 50. And now it's gathering momentum here. I like it above 351.47. So Microsoft looks good. And of course, we have to talk about the two top stocks at MC stock charts. NVIDIA is the number 2 stock. And this one, it's up, over 200% this year. Keeps getting upgraded with higher and higher price targets. This is, one of the big beneficiaries of the artificial intelligence theme, which is the theme for this new, shall I say, bull market. Anyway, NVIDIA, just a king. Now it had a buy point here, this 3 weeks tight here, pulled back to 390. And then ramped up to about 440, then had a 4 weeks tight area. And then last week, you could see it was up nearly 7%, $30. And on Friday, it was up to like, 490. I want to say 488, 490. This is like 100 points. Yeah, 490. So it was like 100 points above the, was it 480? Okay, about 100 points above this buy area here where it was not that long ago. Yeah, right here. And this little pullback in the 3 weeks tight. So anyway, NVIDIA looks good. Tesla, they're reporting earnings this week. So I had to trim, I took off half of my position. I've been burned too many times when earnings report. So, I like Tesla. I think they're going to deliver good numbers, but I'm just going to take a little bit of profits and hold a little lighter position going into this. And if it comes down, I could buy it back. If it goes up, I could buy it at higher prices, but I just want to take some risk off and just manage that a little bit. You can do what you want. I'm not telling anybody what to do. You're all big boys and girls. You can click the mouse just as easily as I can. So, but that's what I did with Tesla. I also did some trimming with the SMCI and NVIDIA because they got to be too big of the portfolio. They're still 24 and 23% of the portfolio, which is, pretty good size. But anyway, let's move on. I'm going to go to some themes here. One is housing, DR Horton, another one of our leading stocks at MC Stock Charts. This one had a great week last week. This is a weekly review. You can see this pattern here, and this is what got me interested in this chart. And then it had this gap up in April, and it was like a 110. Yeah, the high was 110 that week, I believe. Yeah, 97 to 110. We had the buy area around 97. And now it's at 130. Had a great week last week, up nearly 13%. And DR Horton, it's looking good. And there's some other home builder stocks that are just doing well. Most of them are. This is Pulte. This one's surfing its moving averages. Another Kelly Slater stock, or maybe a Laird Hamilton or Bethany Hamilton. How about that? Pull back to the 21 last week, up all 5 days. Strong week for the home builders. And if you like the ETF, the nail, or the ITB or whatever, I like stocks, not exchange traded funds. But you can see it was up 10% last week. And builders, another one of our leading stocks at MC Stock Charts, and it was up more than 6% last week. And it's just riding its moving averages as well. So there's a lot of strong stocks out there. I'm going to get off the home builders. I want to talk a little bit about something I never talk about. The digital currency stocks. They had a heck of a week. This is Coinbase, broke out of this base here. Did I buy it? No, I don't have any crypto. I bought a little bit of HUT just to dabble. But this one you can see on the weekly, nice breakout here with volume. It's been up the last 5 weeks. So expect good things from Coin. That looks really good. Mara's another one. And these charts speak for themselves. Nice breakout, ripping higher. RIOT, same thing, breakout, rips higher. Friday pulls back a little bit, big deal. Profit taking into the weekend, that's to be expected. So those ones look good, but like I say, I don't just got the little HUT, a little $4 stock, just to have some Bitcoin or crypto exposure. This is a minor stock, but not a big deal, not a big size, not going to hurt me or help me one way or the other. Just a probe. This is Tidewater. I go to the oil and gas stocks here. Tidewater, one of the leading stocks in this field services, not a refiner, integrated, or exploration. This is field services, building out the infrastructure. This one, what can you say? You know, breakout, moving higher, nothing to do there, but just hold it. Or if you don't own it, you can't chase it up here. So, I mean, obviously, like I say, you can do what you want, your big boys and girls, but I would not be chasing these stocks. They're certainly showing strength. That's why I'm showing them to you. But yeah, just acknowledging that this is a Weatherford oil and gas machinery equipment stock, another area of the oil and gas that are doing well. And then SLOB, SLB, back to the field services. Now, this one to me is a little more intriguing than Tidewater, and you can see why. Don't have to explain that, but it's a big company, 81 billion market cap, and it's a weekly review. So let's take a look at this consolidation pattern here. A nice stage one cup base pattern, and had nice volume last week, up at 6 of the last 7 weeks. So Schlumberger has strength as well. I want to talk a little bit about different styles of trading. I know people, have their own style. That's great. Everybody's got to have their own style, their own goals and objective in the stock market. And I don't think one's better than the other. It's whatever works for you. And I know that these software stocks have been beaten up, and a lot of people do not like them, but these are coming out of stage one bases here. This is DigitalOcean, and a lot of these software stocks look the same. I'm going to go through a couple of them here, but DigitalOcean has this stage one base, and this is, I know some people at MC Stock Charts that had it here at 39, and this is a typical swing trade as it went up, bought a full position and then sold a third partial at 10% gain, and sold another third partial at 20% gain, and was going to just let the rest run. But what happened? It pulled back to its original pivot area. So they closed out the trade and then bought it again, and then did the same thing. Sold a third partial at 10%, sold the third partial at 20%. We're going to let it run, but it started doing this on Friday. So the trade was closed out. And but a lot of these look good to me, if you like this type of style. This is Datadog. This one's got good numbers here, getting a solid growth. Earnings, yeah, I'm a old fuddy-duddy. Earnings still matter to me. I like fundamentals with my stocks, and this one has good fundamentals. You can see this cup with handle with the 103 buy point there, standard buy point. But anyway, we had this at like 97. It had several buy points in here as it formed this handle, as it pulled back to its moving averages. Now it's starting to push away here. But Datadog's another one that I like. But these stage one bases, these can be lucrative, and I know they've kind of had a long sell-off, and people got in their mindset that this is just something that they can't own. But this is a ROKU, and on the weekly you can see this is a $490 stock back in July of 21, and it had this ski jump or whatever you want to call it, the water slide at the water park, and then now it's formed this little stage one base. So these can be lucrative. This is looks good to me. If you're into such a thing, you don't have to always buy leaders at the top. These can pay off too. It's just your style. My style is to buy liquid leaders, but I'm just showing you different styles. Carvana, this one's up about 700% this year. Kind of similar. It went down to like $3, and that's why it's up so much. Low numbers, and then you could see this consolidation here, and it's just really popped recently. Yeah, from what, 3 right here up to 40, not bad. So anyway, just different styles, heavy short interest. People look for the these falling wedge patterns, and Carvana certainly has been lucrative. Like I didn't trade it. I don't trade stuff like this because I don't know where to buy it, but some people do and are very good at it. So I just wanted to show these. Upstart's another one. Look at this, man, big sell-off and the move higher. So if you're into that style, you can make, you can do well in the stock market. Like I said, there's all sorts of different ways. That's it for me today. In honor of the great Steve Jobs, one more thing. I want to share with you a rookie mistake that I made last week here with TGTX. This is a stock that I've done well with this year. You know, I had it at like $11, ran it up to 35 and took half off. And then, so I watched this stock, but last week I pulled a rookie mistake because it broke above its trend line, right? Its downtrend line, and then started moving back towards its 50. So I bought it, right? Thinking that it's just going to rip right through and be a big winner for me once again. But I shouldn't be buying stocks below the 50. And what happened? It just fell out of bed, crashed and burned on Thursday. And so that was a rookie mistake on my part, mea culpa. It was a smaller position, but I should know better. So I did a post analysis on this trade, and it's just, you know, basic, silly mistake. And it happens to all of us. And so I just wanted to share that, this why I don't buy stocks below the 50. And it probably this week it'll rip right through it, but who knows? You know, I sold out. I took a loss on the trade, but that's the way it goes. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. The market looks good. And if it does pull back a little bit, you got to have your watch list ready. Maybe I could show you a couple stocks that I'm looking at. How about that? I am looking at CROX. Why? Well, it's above its 50, right? It's making the right side of a base. I think the fundamentals are real strong. I think this 122.82 here is intriguing. You know, it made this bottom here, retested. You know, I kind of like that support there at the 101, 104 level. It's made a nice run up, and now it's pulled back a little bit. So maybe it'll pull back to its moving average. It's 10 or it's 21 and find support. They report earnings real soon. So that's one stock that I'm looking at. Another one is a little different category. This is Constellation. It was a spinoff from Exelon. But I like the weekly chart, you know, cup with handle pattern. It's got decent numbers. I don't know what happened to the EPS the last couple of reporting periods, but, you know, solid earnings and revenue growth as well. So Constellation looks pretty decent to me. And let me see, I was going to show you that when I showed you ROKU and Schlumberger. Oh, last one, my friend Yuri at Sanmina. Double bottom base. I like the double bottoms here. Is it pulled back? No, no, it's got it. Pattern rec picked that up. Okay, good. Last time I looked, it didn't have it. So there you go. Double bottom pulled back on Friday, like a lot of stocks did. Pulled hard. But anyway, those are some of the stocks that I'm looking at. Hey, thank you for watching, and we never give up.